Good, very early morning. It is June 1st, and this is ours. And look, sir. Okay, so Mr. Philip B. Williams went on Instagram and did a little rant about us not reading this book. By all means, we've purchased it, he said, but we're not reading it. Why is that? He wants to know why we have not picked up his book off the shelf and read it. Sir, it's too pretty. It's your fault. That was my comment. Make an ugly book and maybe I would have picked it up. I don't know. This is something to cherish. It's so beautiful. It's on my TBR list for this year because I'm doing hashtag tome 25, reading 25 tomes in this year. I already have a tome shelf before I purchase this, sir. So I will get to this when I get to this, but because of his video, seriously, this is June 1st, so I am going to make sure I get through this book in the month of June. That is the goal. I was actually even going to buy a softcover book because I don't want to read this one because the softcover is available now. I'm loving it. This cover, and I did read the first few pages, and I just like hugged it, and I was like, this is going to be so good. I want to put a blanket out on the lawn of a park and just sit up under a tree, fight bugs, and read this beautiful book and sip on lemonade or something and watch the river run and read this good literature. So that's how it makes me feel, just the cover alone and the writing so far. So this is June. This is the book for June. Have I finished Lonesome Dove for April? Heck no. I'm a moody reader, and I read when I paint as far as audiobooks, and so I finished so many audiobooks because of course I'm working on my art show, right? So I'm reading a lot of books, and the ones I just finished as far as audiobook, Anne Rice, my first ever complete Anne Rice, because all those vampire books that she wrote, I could not get past Interview with the Vampire because it made me feel so scared and evil, and the writing was so haunting and beautiful. And I was like, I watched the movie years ago. I didn't think it was cast perfectly. I just don't believe Tom Cruise as a vampire and Brad Pitt. They looked ugly to me. That's not my vampire story. Bram Stoker's Vampire is still the best movie as well as book. So that's neither here nor there. And yes, I love the whole Bella series, and I got the first book. But anyway, I want to show you, of course, ours. So Mr. Philip B. Williams will stop hollering at us and telling us to read his book that we purchased and trusted with our coin. So I'm doing that, sir. I'm doing that. I'm sorry that I haven't done that since, but or yet. But today is June 1st. I told you I'm gonna crack it open. But what I've just finished, and I sat here. I got up early this morning to finish like the last few pages of this graphic novel, which I've already shown you guys that I got it from the library. And I put my library books in the freezer. Okay? Just because any bed bugs or anything, you wipe off fronts and backs, you know, and then you put them in the freezer. Okay? My freezer's pretty empty, so it can handle a lot of books. But A Career in Books by Kate Gavino. Oh my God. I sat here this morning just hugging this after I finished it. I didn't want it to end. About the first part of the book, it was just the fact that it's a graphic novel, and she wrote and did all the illustrations, so this is her art. It is amazing, and I think I want to finish my graphic novel. We're not going to talk about it. It's so precious, and this is a library checkout, but I think I want one of these. But these books are so expensive because, of course, it's art and a book. I don't know how much this is. I didn't look into it, but I may have to because This is a 4-star read, and it's a graphic novel. I'm gonna miss them. Like, literally, it's 3 friends living together in New York City. They all wanted to be in the literary world and work for book publishers or some capacity with books, right? And they all do at some point. And then some of them are more career-minded than others. That would be Nina. And Sharon is a hot mess to me. She's funny. And she ends up hating her job so much she gets into counseling by the request of one of her fans, or just telling her that she possibly needs to go and talk to somebody about what's going on with her, because her job, she said, even though it's boring, that nobody's bothering her, it's nothing that they're doing wrong, it's just that she hates it so bad. I can relate. And then of course Sylvia is working with somebody that's just, oh man, just too much. Finally she gets her say and ends up going somewhere else. And then, if I'm spoiling it, so sorry. And then of course the one that's really, really career-minded, she's the only one that has a boyfriend or a significant other. And then of course the fourth girly girl in this tale is the old lady who's 92 when it first starts. She's 93 at the end of the book, and I'm thinking, oh man, she's gonna die or something at the end of the book. So anyway, she is like a Booker Prize winning novelist who has several books other than the Booker Prize winning nonfiction or book that she wrote, and they're out of print, and the girls find them in a bookstore, a thrift type of store, secondhand, and they read them all and they love them. And then of course the career-minded Nina is trying to get them back into being reprint and finding an audience for the women of today. And she thinks that they have an audience. She has an audience. So it's really good. It's really so good. And Veronica, the writer, her apartment is just to die for. It's got all the books, and she's got all these old stories, and she ends up writing a memoir telling of all her days back in her, just her youth, and going through some of the things that the girls went through. And it's just really, really, really good. And I thought it was going to be like a series, and so it's not. I looked it up when I was in the first parts of the book, and I was like, yeah, this sucks, because I wanted a series. So I thought, wow, I'm going to read another graphic novel, but I've got some more books from the library just this past week. Today is Sunday, June 1st, and so, yeah. Anyway, I've already showed you guys this, but I think I really want to go into another graphic novel since I'm listening to a lot of audiobooks. I'm about to paint since I finished that book this morning. I got a lot of work to do, so I got to get to it. I'm trying to still finish this whole box of cardboard, and I've made a lot of headway, you guys, but I got a lot of stuff to sew, just got a lot of stuff to do. And when I went to the park yesterday to read some of the graphic novel that I just finished, I had to get my notebook out and go over my plan and see what I've completed so far for the show and what I need to complete. So I've got it mapped out pretty good, and I can finish a lot of that this month in June. So in July, I might have to push that show back, because it doesn't include a lot of the sewing that I need to do, because those dolls, they take some time. That quilt is going to take some time, so I'm going to be working my butt off. So that's why I got up so early this morning and wanted to finish that book, because why is it that I'm getting ready for an art show and I got the bug to read back to back to back to back to back, 3 and 4 books at a time? Why is it happening? Am I diverting? I don't know. Anyway, the Golden Hour, or the Golden Voice rather, the Ballad of Cambodian Rock's Lost Queen. I kind of want to go into this one. Oh, so beautiful. If you haven't seen it already, look at that art. Look at it. Look at the colors. Look at that. And look at it. Okay, so I've already read the synopsis or talked about this book, but I'm still on my graphic novel high from a career in books, so I want to read it. And then, of course, there's also the, ouch, Habibi. And I want to go into this one, but this one is going to take a while. So this is also going to be considered as one of my tomes for this year. And how many have I read so far? I really don't know. I have to look it up, and I'll give you guys an update on how many tomes I've completed so far whilst getting ready for an art show, right? So this, hopefully I'll get to that. And so that is 2 tomes so far, but I have finished some audiobook tomes. And again, I'll update you guys. So let me show you. Basically, that was what I'm going to be reading in June. That's my TBR, Mr. Williams. And then what I finished, okay, doing a recap of what I just said. And then the 2 graphic novels, since I'm on that graphic novel high. Alright, so these are definitely on my TBR. Those are library checkouts, so I definitely need to read those soon. I think they just checked them out for me or renewed them, and I have them until June the 20th, so today's the 1st. I need to get on it, right? And then I bought some, or actually I only bought one library book this past week, and I paid like $1 for it, and it's huge. African American Lives, edited by Henry Louis Gates Jr., Evelyn Brooks Higginbotham. And no, I'm not going to be like reading this straight through. It's humongous. I think it was like 1,126 pages of information. Yo, 1,025 pages, not 1,125. Yeah. 100 or 1,000 blah blah blah. I'm including the index and all that because there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people in this mofo. So when I picked it up when I was inside the library, and oh god, oh my goodness, Langston Hughes, in front of the New York Public Library Schomburg collection with poet Langston Hughes. He's in a picture with Jean Blackwell Hudson, and it gives all this information on Jean Blackwell Hudson. This is a heavy behind book on page 428, and it is heavy. Look at that picture though. So it gives you all this information on the lady in the picture. Hudson Jean Blackwell, September 7th, 1914 to February 4th, 1998. She was a librarian, activist, bibliophile, and college professor. Was born Jean Blackwell in Summerfield, Florida, to Paul Owen Sarah Myers. Her father was a commission merchant who operated a farm, buying and shipping produce. Her mother taught elementary school. At age 4, she moved to Baltimore, Maryland, her mother's hometown, blah, 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 blah. Further reading, it goes into, wow. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. She worked at the Schomburg. That's what I wanted to find out, why they're in front of the Schomburg Library collection. It says Hudson died at Harlem Hospital on February 4th, 1998. She worked at the Schomburg for 32 years, from 1948, when she was named curator there, until her retirement in 1980. 1980, I was just entering high school. Some of you were not even born. Okay, so anyway, the collection includes I'm sorry. Okay, there's loads of people in here that I have not had the pleasure of meeting in Black history. And when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, let me get this, because things are being shut out of libraries, colleges. Yeah, so in regards to Black history, and you're not going to shut us up. You're just not. The whole stereotype of Black folks are loud. Yeah, we be loud, okay? Not all of us, I'm just saying, but for the most part. We Be Loud, okay? African American Lives. Y'all, they've got Zora and everybody in here, but a lot of people that I've never heard of, and I just think it's interesting, from people that have fought in the war, and I love how it gives you, ooh, Fawcett, I thought that was Jesse. It says Fawcett Crystal Bird, legislator and activist. Okay, wait. Y'all, they got Bo Diddley in here. Bill Cosby, the cause. Okay. And um, they got John Chevis. Oh my God! Everything is all nice and advertised. Brown, Ron Brown. Do they got my man Bobby? They got James Brown in here. Okay. Tom Bradley, Mayor. Okay. And they've got Blind Tom. Have y'all heard of him? He was a pianist and composer. Was born Thomas Green Wiggins to Domingo Wiggins and Charity Green. Filled slaves on the Wiley Jones plantation in Harris County, Georgia. In 1850, Tom, his parents, and two brothers were auctioned off to General James Neal Bethune. Bethune? Like Miss Bethune-Cookman College? Okay. A prominent attorney and abolitionist newspaper publisher for Columbus, Georgia. Okay. The discovery 2 years later of the toddler, newly renamed Thomas Green Bethune, blind from birth, possibly mentally impaired, and unusually captivated by random sounds, playing one of the general's daughter's piano pieces, totally astonished us, according to Charity, New York Times, 27th November 1886. Wow. Okay, so go ahead, Blind Tom. So I got a whole bunch of information about Blind Tom, and then further reading, and it gives you books written about him. The Legacy of a Prodigy Lost in Mystery, New York Times, March 5th, 2000. Okay, so there's some up-to-date information. Okay, that looks like the most recent is 2000. And then there's some others. Okay, I'm not going to... Y'all... They got my man in there, Basquiat Jean-Michel, painter, born in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so forth and so. Josephine Baker, of course. I'm in the B's. I'm in the A's now. Arthur Ashe, Marian Anderson, and more. 1,025 pages. Definitely a tome. Definitely will not be read this year. Definitely started, like just right now, and whilst in the library. Okay, and these are the most recent books I checked out. Did I show y'all this already? I think I might have. Am I being redundant as usual? But I want to read this like right now. So I got the graphic novels. I got Mr. Williams' book, and My Friend Anne Frank. The inspiring and heartbreaking true story of best friends torn apart and reunited against all odds. I did do, I showed you guys, basically I did a library haul. So these are some of the things that I want to delve into in June. So let's just title this my June TBR. Will I get through all of these? Child, please. It might be more, I still have Bel Cantu Commonwealth by Ann Patchett. On my last little Ann Patchett run, I got through 2 of the audiobooks for Ann Patchett and none of the physical books yet. And I was supposed to start Bel Cantu, which I actually did. Then I put it down and start picking up other stuff. Again, painting a lot, so I'm listening a lot. But so my TBR is what we're going through for June. The things to be read this month. Definitely going to finish Philip B. Williams, I believe, this month. And at least, because the graphic novels got to go back sooner than the ones I just checked out. But I gotta get into this. If you've read this, you guys let me know. It's pretty short. It's not a tome. It's not a part of tome 25. Let me see how many pages. Selected biblia about the author. Okay, 313 pages of my friend Anne Frank. Hannah Pick Goslar. The inspiring, heartbreaking true story of best friends, blah, 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 from the prologue. Oh, look. I don't think I showed y'all that. Look at that. I think this, I gotta read this because I think I'm gonna be pissed off. I think there's information here that I need to know to learn how to continuously deal with today and things that have happened in the past. I love learning about things. I don't want to, I have some war books and, you know, the Constitution books and the debate on the Constitution that I'm still diving into every now and then, reading the letters of the American forefathers who wrote the Constitution and the things that, you know, the letters back and forth between them. So still reading all of that. And sometimes that will get me in the mood to stray from that and read a graphic novel. I still have not finished the book when I got into all the vampire stuff after watching Sinners, and I pulled this off my shelf, and I'm still only at, I lost interest because I thought I was wanting to be scared. It ain't scary. 130 pages still. There's my bookmark. It's a piece of cloth that I sewn. And it's the Gilda stories, and it's good. There's nothing wrong with the writing. The story's interesting. I did get a little bored. But I do want to pick it up because it's interesting enough to finish, is what I'm going to say. But I've read at least 4 books since I put this down. So that's saying something to me, that I'm just not in the mood to finish that right now. Not that it's not good, but I'm in the mood for this. Tragic trash. Hitler's Furies, German Women in the Nazi Killing Fields, Wendy Lower. And I went looking for these specifically after watching that documentary on Hitler's women. That's some crazy stuff. And then, of course, The Escape Artist, right? So the Anne Patchett books that I still have here, Bel Cantu and whatever else, I'm not interested in right this minute because I can still go back and get those on my Libby app if I'm in the mood for them while I'm reading. Right now on my Libby app, I am going to go into, since I just finished Christ the Lord last night, I am going right into because that was Christ the Lord of Egypt. And now I'm on Christ the Lord Cano, I believe it is. And I don't know because I don't have my phone. I don't know what I did with my phone. But anyway, I'm going right into another Anne Rice book on my audio. And I'm getting ready to get over there and paint. So y'all get out of my apartment. And these are some of the crowns that I've made for the show. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. I'm loving them. This one's for Miss Marlee. Her favorite color is purple. This one is for me, the purple one. Her favorite color is pink. And my favorite color is not purple, but the purple one is for me. And then I've got the black and white one and silver for my mother, which is sitting over there by her picture where it should be right now. So I've crowned my mom, I've crowned Miss Marlee, and I've got a list of all the other mothers that I'm making cardboard and jeweled crowns for, because remember, the art show is for found and free objects, cardboard, wood, and cloth fabrics. So I'm making things out of all of that for the show when I'm done here. That's my June TBR and the catch-up, I guess, of getting caught up of what I last purchased, which was the African American Lives book, and Philip P. Morris's Hours is the tome I'm reading for June. And you already know what I'm reading on the Libby app. So what are you reading? Because I want to know. And have you read the Anne Frank? Have you already read Hours? Because I feel like we've been bombarded by Mr. Williams to hurry up and read this book before the end of the year. And I'm not gonna lie, I agree, sir. I freaking agree, because this is too beautiful to pass up and hold to the end of the year or next year, or just get in a lost of sea of books on our shelves that we hold on to, like this particular Stephen King book that I've had on my bookshelves. When I looked through my pictures of my kids, DJ was like 10 years old, and the bookshelf behind him has some unread books, brand new books that are still on my shelves. That's sad. The child is 31 now. So read. Read this now. Read this with me. We'll chat about it. Peace, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta paint and listen to Anne Rice.